Hello and happy Monday to you from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. I'm not going to whitewash this, and you can take that any way you want to. Of course that was a hate crime. And of course it matters. And I'm already seeing this. It's so predictable, so pathetic. Well, what is the need to classify it as a hate crime? I mean, isn't mass murder enough? I mean, all we need to know is if this was just a murderous, evil soul. Well, yeah, it was a murderous, evil soul whose murderous, evil soul was being motivated by nothing other than hate. And yes, it matters. Now, to me, it matters less from the standpoint of criminal justice or the legal system. It matters more just in terms of understanding a problem. You cannot address and solve a problem until you acknowledge and analyze a problem. And hate is a problem, and it's becoming a larger and larger problem. Yeah, we need to acknowledge this just in the name of truth. How else would you describe this? Somebody writes a 180-page manifesto and then travels 200 miles for no other reason than to hunt black people? What would you call it? And saying that there's no need to classify this, at least intellectually, as a hate crime is just sticking your head in the sand. And until recently, I thought there was a certain amount of almost innocent American denial about the depths of the roots of racism in our country. I now know that it's way more sinister than that. It's not denial, it's defense of racism. It is an attempt to protect racism and to advance racism. We need to be honest about what the problems are here. Do we have an immigration problem? We have one, yeah, from a legal standpoint, from a systemic standpoint, we need to take a more rational, yes, humane, but protective look at that issue. And I'm absolutely fine with that. But to say that immigration is the engine that is driving America's problems right now is just not honest. And it's deliberately dishonest. And saying that our biggest problem right now is Muslims, that's not just dishonest, it's deliberately dishonest. Here's the truth, and it's not my opinion, it's backed up by statistics. We have domestic terrorism in this country. We just don't call it that. And the predominant strain of domestic terrorists are white supremacists. Fact. You can get as mad as you want to get. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but that's just fact. And a lot of people like you have untethered yourselves from all kinds of facts. So we have people on television, and they don't need to be identified, but his initials are Tucker Carlson, saying that we don't have white supremacy or white extremism in our country, while at the very same second they are themselves espousing white supremacy and white terrorism. That's what's driving this. And we have no possibility, we have no chance to address the problem until we acknowledge what the problem is. And the core problem is folks telling us that we didn't see what we saw. That we didn't see an attempt to overturn an election. That we didn't see an attempt to overthrow the government of the United States. Or that Saturday in Buffalo, we did not see a hate crime. We are radically rational.